Obedience will be very, very difficult.
And now that
Yeah.
means that
Yes.
those people, because I'm sure there's so many of us
Yes.
who have now chosen the other way,
Yes.
which is disobedience,
Yes.
where we lacked faith.
Yes.
What are some, because you're also a man of God,
Yeah.
how can you walk a person the journey of understanding, building that faith to get now to the place of now I have faith,
Yeah.
and therefore I'm going to obey?
Wow, that's a good question. I think for me, I would say that let's begin from the simple things. Just, the journey of salvation. Very simple work.
Okay.
I mean, I would want them to begin to understand what faith is all about.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Yes.
I would just work. I mean, this journey of salvation is not about, because obedience is tied to all these things. It is
Yes.
tied to the journey of, just that journey itself.
Yeah.
From how you understand the word of God, how you, literally understand faith.
Yes.
All those things. For me, I would just walk them back to that simple things. As understanding faith, the word of God itself. How do you apply the word of God? And all that. How do you get to hear? Even as simple as hearing the voice of God.
Yeah.
How do you act upon hearing the voice of God? When
Yes.
God speaks, how do you really act?
Yes.
Those simple things. I think I would take them back there. Because sometimes you could be a giant, I don't know, in quotes. Because I've heard people talk about giants. You can be a giant in the things of salvation,
Yeah.
in quotes, but you are failing in this obedience thing. Just because you've never understood those small, serious, powerful basics of Christianity. Like, what is faith?
Yeah.
What is faith? How do you apply? How do you hear the voice of God? How do you apply hearing the voice of God? How does God speak?
Right.
How does God speak?
Right.
How does He do it? Because you need to know that. When God speaks, how do I really respond to that voice of God? Those are the simple basics I would just tell people, by the way. Get to understand these things. How does God speak? When God speaks, how do I really respond? Do I respond to pressures? Do I respond to what? Many things. The journey of salvation, my own journey personally, as I kept on working with God, I've really had God speak many, many things, to me. And I think they have become very foundational, or rather, they became very foundational for me. There are times, people are going to come, they'll tell you, you know what? Get out. I remember those days when I was in Machakos, people were telling me, like, what is it? This kind of singing should not be in Tala, should not be Machakos, And I'm like, I did hear God tell me to get out of this place, with all due respect. So people can confuse you if you've not learned the art of listening to God and hearing God. For me, what made me, and I can tell you that, for free, what made me to, and I can see from the word God, just the way you just walk to the word with God, is that I had a foundation of hearing God and understood, early how God speaks and how I should respond to His voice. Otherwise, people can be, you should not be here. Jesus Christ, what are you doing here?
You're a mighty man of
You are
God.
a mighty man of God. This singing cannot be in this place. Get out, move.
Yeah.
God, I prayed God never said move. I stayed there for many minutes. In fact, I stayed in one church for 13 good years. 13
And
good
you
years.
know you are anointed, you are called. This is what God
I
wants you
know
to
it.
do.
I came out to that place I could come out of that place. I go out of the country. I mean, went to various places. I go and I come back to that place. There was no drum set. There was nothing. There was only a keyboard. I used to sing using a keyboard. Can you imagine? Then after that, I get out of that place. I go, I tell you, I remember one time I was invited by this man of God from Uganda. It's called Apostle Kanchi.
Oh,
My pastor was telling me, are you sure? You're sure that is, do you know who Apostle Kanchi is? I'm like, yes, I know. Are you sure it's the one you're talking about? The one who preached? I'm like, yes. I get out of that place. I go, I come back with my small keyboard. Obedience sometimes is very costly. Let me tell you the truth. It's not a joke. I could do all those things. Go, come back to that small place. People say you should not be here. I mean, this is not your level. This is not where you should be. But let me tell you something. I had not heard God, so I could not have moved.
Wow. And when you finally had Him,
When I finally had it,
see what He did even with the first meeting.
yes. See what God did with the first
goodness.
meeting. And that was a meeting. I had not even moved from.
This was an introduction.
I stayed there because I stayed there all the way after, I think, 2016. No, that was 2017. That's when I came there. 2017 was after the year.
Yeah.
And then I think I stayed in that place for quite all the way to 2020.
Yeah.
The Lord had spoken to me in 2016 to move. He told me your time is up. That's the word I had.
Okay.
And I said, to where? He didn't speak 2017,
Wow.
he's not saying anything.
Wow.
2018, he's not saying anything.
Wow.
2019, he's not saying. He spoke in 2019, I will never forget, in October. That's when I have the Lord clearly. This is where you are going. What? All those years, I did move.
Wait, I want to understand something.
Yes.
So he speaks in
It's
2016
2016.
and he tells you it's time.
It's time for you to move.
But
He never said where.
He never said where.
He did it.
He comes to say in
2019, October.
So
All those years.
what are you doing in the span of all those years?
I'm still there where I should have been, that church.
So you did not move.
I didn't move. To where again? Because I need to hear. I need to hear. You know?
Yeah.
And that tells you, by the way, God can speak to you. You don't just move. You don't just do things for the sake of. I know hearing God's voice is very central, like I said, to obedience. You have to really
Hear him.
And I think I can say that you have to hear and hear.
Hear and hear.
Yeah, don't just hear once. Otherwise, like Abraham, you just hear, go sacrifice your son. There are many other instructions that followed that thing. You know, it was those. If God says, for example, says you're going to become something, you know, you need to understand that that one instruction is not enough. There are many other instructions in the middle that you have to really, hear.
Wow.
You know, obedience is not just like a one-time, thing that you just hear, then that's it. You know, you get the next instruction when you obey the first one.
Ooh.
Obey the first one, and then you hear again, and then you hear again, and then you hear again. Just like that.
My goodness.